Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. As promised, I have some free digitals for you, but I also have a fun image transfer method that I'd like to share as well. So I'm going to be doing both today. So stay tuned for the image transfer method. I think you'll find it a lot of fun. And so these digitals are Christmas postcards. I really love these little angels. They're so cute. So I have a little nativity scene. I have a old-fashioned Currier and Ives type of scene. And I have a couple of Santas. My favorite Santa, yes. And this little Santa here as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly show you really fast how I put together the postcards to make them really stand out and be flat. So let me just cut this out. Now, of course, you can assemble these any way you like. I'm just kind of showing you kind of what I do. And I like to start out by putting a little bit of a score line right here where the back and the top meet. And it doesn't have to be deep, just a little bit to get you started. You can use a credit card. You could use the back of a butter knife or something of that nature, something that is stiff but not sharp. And then we're going to burnish. And I really believe that the burnishing is really key to getting this feel more like a postcard that is flat and as if it's one piece and not two pieces put together. Now you absolutely can fold this by hand without burnishing it or without putting the score line in, but I think this really does make a difference. And I'm going to use a glue stick, and I'm not going to glue the edges. I'm going to do something different on the edges, but you certainly can go, you'll have to take, a scrap piece of paper and get right there in that edge, because that's where I think glue sticks really are challenged, is the edge part over there. And I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to take some of my glitter glue or a white glue or whatever kind of glue you have, and that part I'm going to run right here on the edges all the way around, just to make sure that those edges are nicely sealed. Like that. And fold it over. And again, I believe that burnishing it again just really adds a lot of crispness to this and makes it nice and flat. Now there's going to be a little bit here on the edges because, I probably didn't cut it as close as I should. Whatever. So I'm just going to go through and just take a hair off all the edges. Just a hair off, and that way they can all meet perfectly. See, here's the shaving I took off of the sides. Really small little bit. And now you have a little postcard. Now this can be mailed in the mail if you want to do a Christmas postcard or something like that, or you can ink around it for your journal. Use it however you would like. But I just wanted to kind of go through that to show you how to get, good results from this printout. And so now, before I leave you, I'm going to now show you an image transfer method onto fabric. And what really got me excited about this method is that I don't have to put it through my printer. Now, an inkjet printer, you can mount fabric to something hard, like there's lots of methods on the YouTube, but one method would be to take your cloth and take off sticker paper and stick this to the back of your cloth and cut it, so it's all even, and then that way there's something hard for your cloth to fit on to go through the printer. That's a method, and there's other methods. Ironing it onto freezer paper so you have a hard background. But the only thing that, and I have had success with it, but the only problem that worries me is that the lint and the fuzz that is on fabric getting into my printer and into the heads and everything. And kind of like read about that a little bit, and I just kind of felt like didn't really want to start gumming up my printer, because to have it professionally cleaned or to really clean it out can be expensive. It can use up a lot of ink and everything. So I found a method that does not involve printing directly onto the fabric, and I really actually like the method much better. Okay, for this project, you're going to need some sticker paper, and I happen to have shipping label paper, so it's got like 2 sections to it, but it doesn't really matter. That part doesn't matter because we're not using this portion of the sticker. We're using the paper on the back, this very glossy side. So some paper, sticker paper that has the stickers removed, I guess you could say. And of course, you'll need your cloth. And I would recommend a white cloth. I think it gives you the best prints. But, you know, a cream color just gives you a different kind of look. And just a cotton, it could be a polyester blend cotton, just a cotton fabric. You don't spend a lot of money on it. Wash it before you use it and iron it out. And so that's what I've done with that. And you'll need a brayer or some kind of a burnishing tool. I find the brayer works the best for me, but you can use the burnishing tool as well with this process. And of course, you're going to need an inkjet printer because this won't work on a laser, so you'll need the inkjet one. And yeah, and of course your digital that you're going to be printing out. I'll be using this print right here for my digital. I have a little ink over here, but yeah, I'll be using this here for my digital print. So the first thing you're going to do, of course, is you're going to print out on the glossy side of the sticker paper. Now this can work with freezer paper. I think the sticker paper is the easiest, less messy one to use. I did take some freezer paper, and maybe I'll do that next after I print this one out. So let me get this printed. Now the ink setting that I use for this is standard. In other words, it's not the highest, it's not the lowest, it's sort of like in between. You can use the highest setting. I found it to be a little bit more messy to work with. The standard worked just fine. So you want to lay this down on your cloth, but you don't want to move, once it touches the cloth, you don't want to move this paper. And also I did not print the full page. I printed it down to a 5x7 size. So you may want to reduce your image, or you can do a whole sheet, you know. But because I work with ephemera, I wanted to reduce it. So I'm going to just hold it down where I just laid it, and then carefully but firmly, I'm going to brayer the image out. Oh, see, my fan is on and it just moved. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, okay, let's just finish this out here. The air conditioning vent is right above my desk, and I don't have any other place to put it, so. Or you could use, like I say, a brayer tool. I think that or the burnishing tool. I think the brayer, though, just did a little bit better job. So we'll just lift this up. Okay, so I guess the movement didn't do too bad of a problem here. And so you're not going to get, of course, the same clean look as you're going to get on paper. You get this really worn, mottled look, and I really actually like it quite a bit. Let me put this on some white background here. I really like that. It's a subtle print. Now the nice thing is you can wipe this off with a paper towel or a dry cloth or something of that nature. I have a rag here that I'm using. And you can use this over again. You can use it at least 3 times. I think I have in the past used it that much. So you just wipe it clean and you can use that over again. So that's kind of nice. You only need 1 sticker paper, right? So this is the look that I got, and I like it because if you go to collage, like say if you want to make a tag out of this, what's really nice is that I got Christmas stuff here, but your image stands out and then the background recedes, and it's really kind of nice. It's a little different look than your printer, you know, a printed look. you know, it gets kind of lost in that. And it just looks kind of worn. Now here I did the same thing on some cream colored paper, or cloth, excuse me. So it has a really kind of a unique look. So let me get a little closer so that you can see the results a little bit better on this. I don't know that I got the best, of course on camera, you know how it goes. Everything doesn't work as planned. I do have another piece here that I did earlier with cloth. I think it might have came out a little bit better. It did, didn't it? Yeah, I don't think I pressed hard enough, and the paper moved on me. So this is where I did it earlier today. So it is a little bit better. And it's one of those things that you experiment with, and each time it just might come out a little bit differently. So this would be good for like a flip on a page, a cloth flip if you wanted to do that in a journal. It would be good as a pocket. You could use it as a part of a snippet roll that you want to, or a belly band. Okay, so there's however you use cloth is how you can use this. So I just wanted to show you that method. Now you can put this on paper and it will give you another look altogether than printing. And so here I've done it on paper. So this is a really fascinating look. So again, you can use this as a tag. And then when you put your embellishments on, it just has a nice subtle way to fade into the background. All right, let's try it with the freezer paper. And of course, freezer paper is so roly-poly, isn't it? So I just cut out a piece that I thought would, you know, fit onto another piece of cardstock. So you'll have to attach it to cardstock so that it will have a firm background to go through your printer. And I'm going to start out by just attaching it a couple places on the side. Now what's really going to matter with freezer paper is the place you feed it in. That place that you feed the paper in really needs to be taped down pretty well. So let me just get in here and even this out. I probably could have just cut it exactly, but you know, it's so rolly. It's just such a funny little thing to work with. And remember that the shiny side needs to be facing up. That's the print part you're going to print on, of course. Just going to catch it here on the bottom and wrap it to the back. And I'm going to do that. Oops, I'm going to do that all along the bottom here. Now I like to make sure the whole thing is taped down at that bottom so that it doesn't have any room to bunch up on me. And so now I'm going to make sure that this is smooth. I may have to reposition this part a couple of times. Let me get in here and cut this side down. All right, so that is pretty good there. The top probably doesn't matter quite as much just because it's the last thing to go through. And so I'm going to print on this now on the freezer paper, and we're going to give that a go through. So the bottom is nicely taped up really well. I've just tacked it down a couple places on the sides. And I'm going to feed it in to make sure, and I'm going to feed it in this way with the waxy part facing me. This is the way my printer will print on the waxy part. Okay, I'm going to put mine on a piece of cardstock because I don't want to use it anymore on my cloth. And I'm not taking it off the cardstock. I'm leaving it right there and making sure that I'm lining it up and just pressing down, trying not to move it. Okay, and this time we just use the burnishing tool here and give it a good couple of good scrapes in here. And I think the key is to go over it a few times just so that the ink can be absorbed into whatever you're transferring onto, whether it be cloth or paper. Okay, and so voila, that. So this is the result. It's really cool. I think it turned out nice, right? So I do believe that, I don't know how many you really can get from the freezer paper because it is a little thinner and it's a different, I think it's a different amount of waxiness on it than on sticker paper. But that can be done as well. You can do it those two ways. So I want to also point out that if you do words, they're going to be backwards. So unless you have a program that will reverse the words for you, and I think, I haven't had to do it because I do have a program that does this. I have an Adobe Shop program, but I think that in printers there's an ability to reverse your image. So check that out in your printer and see if you can't do that. But you'll have to remember that it's going to be backwards if you just use the print as it is. So this was done on paper, and as you can see, it just gives it a different look than when you just print it out. It just, because you never know where on the print it's going to be kind of little white spots, and I don't know. I just think this is like so neat. So this is a fun little method for you to try and see how you like doing it. And please don't forget to like and subscribe if this is something that you enjoyed. I just really appreciate it so much. So we'll see you again real soon. Bye.